Rancher's Homestead, and today is such an exciting day because it marks the very first day of my new YouTube channel that goes along with my already existing blog, www.theranchershomestead.com. And so as my first video, I thought I would share just a little bit about myself, how I got started and my journey, and what you will find if you follow me here on YouTube. So I am married to the rancher, who is a livestock auctioneer, and he buys and sells cattle for a living. And together we have 3 little girls who I homeschool here on the homestead. And where we got started and where this whole homesteading thing got started was my middle daughter came down about 2.5 years ago with extreme eczema. And what I thought was just a skin condition, I later found was much more. I would try everything. For about 8 months, I tried everything. I used every topical cream you can think of. I took tips from people and would go out and spend money on the topical creams that they recommended, and nothing would work. And it was one night at 2 in the morning, she woke me up crying and itching and bleeding, and this was the 3rd night in a row that she had done this, that I knew I needed to make a change. And so I soothed her back to sleep with some lavender essential oils and some lotion and rubbing it on there. But I stayed awake, and I went and I just started researching anything I could get my hands on, anything that I could read about eczema, the cause of eczema, and how to help her heal from it. And what I found in that time was that what we put into and onto our bodies matters. And so it was in that moment that I decided we were going to make a change. And I started taking things out of our diets like dairy and gluten and cane sugar and preservatives and dyes, and putting things back into our diets that were good and healthy and wholesome, that could heal our guts, because what happens on the inside ultimately affects the outside. And so as I was going through this journey and removing things and putting things back in, I started learning so much about how to fuel our body and live a natural, homegrown, homemade way of living. And during that time, as I learned and as I continued to learn, people started telling me, you need to start a blog, you need to start a YouTube channel. And so here I am starting that and hopefully teaching people, and they can learn through my journey and how I got started, and learn through me the time that I have taken to learn how to live a more healthier, sustainable lifestyle. So here on my YouTube channel, find tips on recipes, and all of my recipes will be gluten-free. I am proud and happy to say that we are eczema-free now for a year, so I have integrated dairy and a little bit of cane sugar back into our diets, but I continue to stay preservative and dye-free and gluten-free. I have celiac, and now come to find out all 3 of my daughters have celiac. And so we are gluten-free here on the homestead. So if my recipe is not naturally gluten-free, I will share tips on how to make them gluten-free. You will find natural, safe household products, a few beauty products that I use that are natural and safe that I make right here on the homestead. You'll find gardening tips and how to grow and preserve your own food, how to use essential oils in your everyday life. I use them every day and multiple things, and so I will share tips on how I've learned that and how I use them. You will find tips on just everyday life here on the ranch, and maybe some homeschool stuff too, since that is a huge part of our life. So I hope you enjoyed listening to a little bit about me and what you will find. Make sure to jump on over to www.theranchershomestead.com and subscribe with your email so you don't miss any of those posts. I plan to share blog posts there with my YouTube videos linked in that. I plan to share the how-to videos here on YouTube, and I plan to do both at the same time. So you don't want to miss what I'm going to share, so make sure that you subscribe to both. And I just hope that you learned something today, and stay tuned for the next couple weeks when I will be sharing some how-to videos here on the homestead. Take care.